Hello and welcome to Dees20Stitches. I'm Dee. My pronouns are they, them. I'm a queer and trans cross-stitcher and designer and also a father figure for you. Just you, no one else. I'm in my fall plaid and it's October still. And usually I do videos every month, but I thought I would sneak in a little bit of an extra one because November is going to be buck wild. So let me kind of tell you my schedule because I think it will get you excited and will get me excited. So I'm recording now because in November there are two very exciting things happening. First of all, Kari and I are releasing a new design in November. It should be out mid to early November. I'm not going to put a date on it because that would put me in a professional bind where I had to have a hard deadline. So I'm just going to say like mid to early November. So when that comes out, I of course want to share the release with you and Flosstube, so I'll do a Flosstube then. Then, even better, end of November, near American Thanksgiving, is my birthday. And as Betsy said, the November babies, the Scorpios and the Sagittariuses out there, we love to celebrate our birthdays. We want to tell everyone about it. I'm really hyped for my birthday. So I want to celebrate my birthday, I actually want to do a whip parade on my birthday to kind of share my progress. Do I have many whips? No. But it will still be fun. It will still be a D celebration. I have some plans for that. I have some plans for the release. I have lots of plans. Gosh, I have lots of plans. So that's why I'm recording now, so we can have a video now in the middle of November and at the end of November and have a big like fall time celebration. How fun! Yeah. So let's see. What do I usually... Oh, a lot of you have been giving me big congratulations on getting a new pupperoonie, a new dog. Timbit is very happy, except for he hates cars. And not getting in a car, he just hates cars on the street. They scare him very much. So that is the only kind of thorn in his side. Otherwise, he's a perfectly happy puppy, perfectly happy little dog. I am not bringing him on video because he's not allowed down here. He's not allowed down in my craft dungeon. He's also not allowed upstairs in the bedroom and everything. We like to establish clear boundaries with our dog, with our dogs. It just helps with like things like separation anxiety. We have heard that there's just a horrible amount of dogs who know nothing but the pandemic, so they get really anxious when anyone leaves them. So Timbit is perfectly happy in his section of the house. He loves his crate. He sleeps in that when we're not around and he loves it. We play crate games. He gets fed in there. It's just like the best. The crate is the best thing. So he's a happy pup. So thank you for everyone who has asked about him. And if you do ask about him on Instagram, I will just send you pictures of him because I have 10 million pictures of him because he's perfect and kind of weird looking. He's got like a real small head and a real thick neck and a real long body. So he's just a mutt. He's a special little guy. So thank you for that. Let's get started on the cross stitch stuff. Cause I got a finish. So let's talk about that first, shall we? This one. Okay. So last episode, I asked y'all for a suggestion on what to stitch with black thread, just like a monochromatic black thing. Because I got a whole spool of this anchor stuff. And back then I was so excited to stitch with this spool of anchor. I was so excited, and I wanted just a monochromatic black pattern or something I could make just black to stitch with it. So the biggest one that y'all suggested was modern folk embroidery, MFE. And you suggested a lot of their patterns, or his patterns. Jacob, right? Right? It's Jacob? I had never stitched a modern folk embroidery. Is that a weird thing to suggest? Like, is that a weird... Is that like, oh my gosh, you've never seen Star Wars? Or, oh my gosh, you've never seen... What else do people see? The movie Titanic? You've never heard of the Macarena? You've never stitched on modern folk embroidery? Yes, I am that person. But I am no longer a folk embroidery virgin. That's weird to say. I stitched one of Jacob's pieces. And this is Silent Wings by Modern Folk Embroidery. And as you can see, it's much smaller. There you are. Whoop. Yeah. Yeah. It's much smaller than it should be. It's because I did stitch this 1/1 on 32 count. This is 32 count cappuccino by a company. You know the one. I have a lot of it, so I gotta start using it. And this is stitched using the anchor thread. Oh yeah, there we go. Now, I'm gonna see how close I can bring it. Oh yeah, wow, okay. Yes, yes, yes. Now, if you look incredibly close, you will notice, can I get closer? Yes. Wow, this camera. It's making me kind of nauseous. If I get very close, you can see some of the coverage is not great. Sorry, some technical difficulties. The camera didn't like when I put that really close and then zoomed out. It just did not focus. So I talked for a full 5 minutes and I was a blur. Anyway, this has been a curse upon my household, upon me personally, because the spool of thread in which I stitched this, something went horribly wrong with it. And I thought I was being, I thought I was being pranked, you know? Every Flosstube who talks about anchor black, they rave about it. Oh, you must get anchor, the coverage. Oh, it's like butter, right? It's so much better than DMC 310. It's like the same people who stitch with the sulkies. Oh, you must get it. Oh, I don't know who this is. It's not anyone. It's like the sulky wizard or the anchor wizard, casting a spell on us. You must get it. So I got a spool. Like I said last time, I got a spool. And y'all, I thought I was going out of my gourd. Because it felt like stitching with straw. It was limp. You never want a limp floss. Can't do anything with that. What am I supposed to do with this? It was matte. It was almost waxy. It frayed and fuzzed a lot more. It was thin. I had a thin, limp floss. A flaccid floss. This floss, y'all, is flaccid AF. You can't really see it on camera. It's not good. So I thought to myself, has my crank been yanked? Is this just a big conspiracy theory wherein, like, all the old-timey stitchers are like, yeah, anchor floss, it's real bad, but let's tell everyone it's real good. It's like the snipe hunt of the stitching world. You ever do a snipe hunt? Where you, I used to, my first, like, job as a adult, and by adult, I mean in the 90s, I was 14, where you're a camp counselor and you tell stories to kids to kind of freak them out, because you honestly get paid less than minimum wage because you have to, be at camp overnight, etc., etc. And so you send kids on a snipe hunt. Did you know a snipe is actually a bird? Did you know that? I did not know that. But I did send kids on snipe hunts. Anyway, is this the snipe hunt of the cross stitch world? So I went Pepe Sylvia on y'all. I went Charlie Day on y'all. I got out my big board. I got a bunch of red string and I tied it all together. Why is this floss bad, but other similar anchor floss is good? So I started asking some questions. And this is what I've discovered. And this is not confirmed. I do not confirm nor deny what I have found out and the sources I have gone through to get the information. But anchor is made in Hungary or Europe, and they have a factory over there. They make skeins mostly, from what I can tell, and the skeins mostly are beautiful. They're the silky, buttery, puffy stuff. They're the good shit. They're the stuff that you're talking about. Most people who use the skeins of Anchor Black are happy. And I assume all the other Anchor flosses are happy with it. Now the spools. For some reason, the quality of thread on the spools varies from the quality of the European skeins. There was a new factory that opened up slightly pre-pandemic in, I believe, one of the Carolinas. One of the North or South Carolina. I think I'm going to say South Kakalaki. South Carolina. And for whatever reason, the thread that is made out of that factory are spools, and they are sent to big box stores. For whatever reason, there is like a 60-40 chance of getting a shitty, flaccid, limp, straw-like spool. Especially if you shop at Michael's and Joann's. Those are the two that people have reported seeing the bad stuff. And I also have seen that, and I also map things out. And the closer you are to the factory, it seems the better chance your spool is better than if your spool has been sent quite a bit further. So I live on the West Coast, British Columbia. My spool was dog poop, dog shit. But the people who like, I got reports of Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and their spools were okay. This is driving me up the wall. Why, Anchor? Why are you like this? So here's my theory. The manufacturing process that is done in Europe is not the same as the manufacturing process, or at least the assembly. It's because I think all the thread is made in Europe and it's sent over to the United States and it's put together in the United States. Whatever is happening in that factory is a mystery. But for some reason, the spools for big box stores maybe are assembled a little bit cheaper because that's how the big box stores like it. And they are shipped, the ones that are shipped further away are worse than the ones very close. And there was someone from Massachusetts, oh gosh, I think so. And they said that they got a spool of thread that had, instead of six individual threads on it, because they usually come in 6, right? They had 4. This is a curse. I've been talking about this for 10 minutes. It's a curse. People need to know. This is the new controversy. People need to know. So, anyway, I'm sorry. I apologize. What is going on here? I'm getting a haircut tomorrow. Thank God. I like this pattern, but this was hell to stitch. And I am now cursed because I have a whole spool of the Anchor Black. Look, I made a cute little floss drop though. That's cute. Look how cute. It's cute, right? But I'm cursed by this. Now, I've had 2 people tell me, why don't you throw it away? Because then it's still there. So here's my plan. Number 1, I gotta just email the big boy. I gotta email Anchor and just figure out what's going on, because this is driving me up the wall. Number 2, this is my plan. This is my semblance of a plan. Maybe in November, I want to get all the rest of my Anchor thread on this thread drop. And I think I want to do like a sisterhood of the traveling pants. But it's like the siblinghood of the traveling cursed anchor. And I think what I'll do is I'll get people who are interested to sign up for the curse. If you sign up, you are signing away your life to this black anchor. And whatever happens, happens. And what I'll do is I'll dye like a really nice piece of maybe like 25 count linen or something, or even weave. And I will say, we need, as a community, we need to finish this bad spool of black anchor. And I will stitch something with this black anchor on that piece of fabric. And then I'll send the rest of the anchor to the next person with the fabric and the stitching. And then the next person will stitch something and they will send it on. And then the next person will stitch something, and then they'll send it on. Until all of this black anchor is gone. And then at the end, we'll have like a piece, which will be the most cursed item, haunted item, ghoulish item in the cross stitch community, because this stuff sucks. So if this sounds like something that is intriguing to you and you would like to join the siblinghood, let me know in the comments if this is something that's interesting to you. Because if I can get like, I don't know, 10 people, I think we could get rid of this stuff. I think we could stitch it into oblivion. So if you're interested, I'll organize it in November. But if it's just me, if no one wants to risk getting cursed, then don't worry about it. I'll figure something else out. But if you're interested in that idea, if you would like to get cursed by the black anchor, that's very bad. Let me know. Anyway. That was a lot. I will say, I have someone who is sending me a good spool. And I think they're from, I don't know where they're from. I want to say East Coast. And then I have someone who is sending me a spool, or a skein. So I'm interested. I've spent too long on this. We're done. We're done. Till next time. That was my start and finish. I started it, I finished it in about a week. I have a great FFO plan in my head. Maybe next month, yeah. Okay. Let me take all my red strings down. We're moving on. Okay. Vintage Owl Lady bag. Sponsor me. Love it. This is my, there we are. This is my Moonshine Possum by MamaWitchStitch. And I got this section done since last time I saw you, and I also stitched up here because I think I made a mistake, so I just wanted to like double check it. Build bridges, not walls. Important. I really like this stitch, but I could only stitch on it for a small amount of time because autumn vibes is autumn vibes, and then once Halloween hits, I gotta do something spoopy. Spoopy. I gotta do something spoopy. So this is where she will stay until probably next September, if I'm going to be honest. But it will be a joy to bring on out, for sure. We got that. We got that. Let's see. Oh! Speaking of driving me up the wall. My lunchtime project is randomly generated map of Westeros. I even remembered the name of the land. Aren't you proud of me, nerd daddies? So look, ooh, I am almost done. All I need to do is this small section. And you think, Dee, why no? You just finish the motherfucker. Bad language. I do not apologize. Literally, that could be done. You could watch one episode of Frasier. And I have been watching a lot of Frasier. And you could be done with this. Speaking of curses, this has been a whip since 2012. So why won't you get this monkey off your back, Dee? And I say to you, I don't know. This is my lunchtime project. So it's on 14 count. It's really nice to stitch on, you know, at lunch. I talked about my lunchtime routine last time. And I'll finish it this week. Maybe. Who knows? Ever since I introduced this, I've had people say, like, you know, you don't need to be a fake nerd. I guess I'm not a fake nerd. I've never said I'm a nerd. Actually, my therapist, because I have a therapist, because everyone should go into therapy, because we need it. She made a Game of Thrones allusion or reference during our session. And then she stopped and said, oh, you know, I don't know if you watch Game of Thrones, but like, I assume you do. First of all, rude. Do I give off that kind of vibe? I try to give off the jock mentality. Cause you know how big a jock I look like. But for someone to like call me a nerd like that, I don't do good with like popular culture. In fact, I tend to reject popular culture. Like do not ask me what my opinion is about the Marvel movies. Because I could not care less. I would never yuck people's yums. If you love something, love it with your whole heart. That is the raddest thing you could do with your life, is love something and love it with your whole heart. I cannot do that with popular pieces of media. The zeitgeist, if you will. For example, the Squid Game. I have not. We have not. But should I get into it? Yes, I'm getting into it. We canceled Netflix. And you might know why. But let's talk about it. This will be my education corner. Okay? You might have seen in the news, or you might have watched it on Netflix. There was a comedy special, and in that comedy special, the comedian punched down at trans people. And when I say punch down, it means it just is mean. And I'm not going to get into A, that comedian's history with transphobia, or B, what was actually said in the special, or C, like the freedom of speech. I'm not going to get into those things. What I want to get into is why I and a lot of other trans people no longer subscribe to Netflix. And that is that sort of promotion, that sort of content on Netflix, but also the after effects. So I don't know if you saw the after effects, but a Black and pregnant trans person was fired for speaking out and standing up and releasing information about this special, and was very vocal in calling it transphobic. And then they were fired for it. So if you are a person who is defending free speech and you're not, that doesn't make you angry as well, that someone stood out and spoke up and said this is hurtful and was fired for it, and you don't stand up for them as well. That's kind of right? So because of the firing and because of the mishandling of the head of Netflix, basically saying that words don't have things on Netflix do not have do not do real world harm. Because of that handling, there's a lot of trans people and allies who canceled Netflix lately. And I would like to tell you, when you cancel Netflix, you can tell them why. Oh, I told them. I told them. I told them. There was a walkout, there was a strike, and the trans employees made a list of demands. Now, I want to tell you on that list of demands, and it's on Twitter, and I will link to some articles, and I will try to find that list of demands. Nowhere in the demands did it say take down the piece of comedy. Nowhere did it say that. But they did want things like inclusivity, wherein Netflix needs to pay trans creators to put trans-led media on their platform. More trans media, more trans visible media. And then they had a lot of stuff about like the inner politics and working in that. So for this teachable moment, this allyship moment, if you saw that a corporation was firing trans people for saying that the company does transphobic shit, and you're like, oh yeah, that's awful, and then you watch Squid Game and you're like, what's on Netflix tonight? Netflix and chill. I don't know. That kind of sucks, huh? Kind of stinks. I mean, not watching Netflix, would be hard for some people. But filling out that when you cancel Netflix, and if you fill out, I am canceling Netflix because of the way that the CEO handled questions from trans employees, that's powerful. So that's just something to think about. It's still going on. There are some people who have been rehired by Netflix. The demands as far as on October 27th, I believe, have not been met. So we'll see. We'll see. That's it. That's my education for... That's my popular culture education. Yeah, I mean, look at the demands, think about how media portrays trans people and how in the 90s, largely trans people were a joke, especially trans women. Like, it was usually aimed at trans women. I mean, Ace Ventura. You remember the end of that? Trans people sure do. So trans people being the butt of the joke in media is harmful to self-esteem and to our being, you know? And being treated as a joke in media directly translates to how many rights we're given as human beings. So something to think about. Something. Did I have my glasses off the entire time? Weird. Oh God, I look ghastly. Sorry. Anyway, something to think about your allyship. And let me tell you, pirating is okay. Your media? Pirating is okay. Because guess what? It's taking money away from capitalism. It's not taking money away from the little people. The little people. The workers, the staff. It's not taking money away from them. They get paid. Right? They get paid. is taking money away from the CEOs who fire trans people. So you can pirate. Didn't you guys grow up like in the 90s? Remember Napster? It's in your blood. If you're a geriatric millennial like myself, it's in your blood to pirate things. Torrent, my friends. We just pirated the first season of Frasier, as I mentioned. It's delightful. I'm sure there's transphobic shit on there too, because it's the 90s. Anyway, will I be done with Game of Thrones next time? Who knows? Don't hold your breath. I have a new start for you, and I'm very happy to show it because it is my design and Kari's design. It is Hex Hotel. How cute! You can still get this on Kari's website along with the little hexes. I'll link that down below. You can get it started right now. It's a great Halloween piece. And I do have to say, I started it. It's fun just to stitch the sections. So like stitching each little piece. It's like a nice, it's not like a bunch of motifs, but it kind of is, right? Each window is kind of its own little moment. So this is my new start. There we are. Can you see the shiny on the Skelly Man? Maybe not. Again, it is 1/1 on 32 count. Mystic Fabric Spring Breeze. This is the called for fabric. Smile if you're gay. And I just got started. This is maybe a week's worth. And I did miscount. One little dongle is smaller than the other little dongle. They're sisters, not twins. So all the work above the little things is me trying to replan and make sure that everything else is accurate, so I don't get left with a mess. I really like this stitch because you get very small victories, like finishing the basement. Oh yeah, you could kind of get that shine. Ooh, there she is. Finishing the basement was fun. Like, it was like, oh, I finished it. It looks real good. It looks real sharp. And the little cat. Who is the kitty? It is. Oh, I know. It's Sebastian, B's and T's. He has a little black cat. Selena? I assume that's Selena Kyle, like Catwoman. I assume. Seb, you can tell me. Is that Selena? Or Betsy will tell me. This is Hamilton in disguise. Right? Maybe. Anyway, that's my start. I'm going to stitch on this until Halloween. Because then I got to get my button gear. And I have to finish the model stitch for one of our releases, Kari and my release. I won't call it a Christmas release because it's definitely not Christmas, but it's Christmas adjacent. It is gothic and it does involve a mystical creature. And the plan is we have a big piece and then a smaller piece where I take out the motif, some of the motifs of the bigger piece. So the plan is you can get both in one. So if you're a person who are like, oh, Dee and Kari, I love your pieces, but boy, that unicorn is big. There's another option for you. There's a smaller option. Anyway, I'll tell you all this stuff afterwards. Next episode, right? Yeah. That's when things should be released. Okay. Stash. Stitchy kindness. I got some. Speaking of Hamilton and Hamilton's lovely owner, look what I got. Come on, focus on the queen. There she is, the queen. The Tuma queen. Betsy, there we are, sent me some floss drops. And these were my first floss drops that someone has sent me. And it makes me very excited. Betsy also sent me, whoopsie, my favorite, I Love Lucy. I grew up with I Love Lucy, and Lucille Ball's comedy made my comedy style, made me who I am as an actor and as a MC and as like a performer. Her and do you remember Ernest? Like Ernest Goes to Camp? Those two. They had a baby, it'd be me. And of course, Stupatuma. Oh. Thank you, Betsy. And because of, oh, they all just spilled. Oh, God. Jeez, Lord. Oh, in heaven. Oh, hold on. Oh. Because of Betsy, I will be making my own floss drops. Oh, she's upside down. Because I need to pay Betsy back and give her some of my own floss drops. I did book my first photo shoot. I'm doing a photo shoot. Since the summer of 2019. I used to do a lot of photo shoots because I was a performer, so you needed like headshots and you needed promotional material. So I used to do a lot of photo shoots, and this is my first one in a long time. So me and my favorite photographer, we're gonna do something fun. And I will make the photos into floss drops. So hopefully by my birthday, I'll have something for you. And I've got a plan for them. I've got a plan. Anyway, thank you, Betsy. Let me get all fill on the ground. What will I be doing with these floss drops? I think Betsy has a Sal for her birthday because she is a November baby. She's a Scorpio. Of course she is. I'm married to a Scorpio, so I know. Never put a Scorpio and a Sagittarius together. It's wet and wild. Anyway, Betsy is a beautiful Scorpio baby, and her birthday is right before mine. And she's doing I believe it's called the Little Bird Sal. I'm not stitching that, but I am going to stitch some little birds for Betsy, and I will be using her floss drops. So thank you. I'm very excited for that. What else? Okay, speaking of birds. Chaboy got. There we are. Whoop. The needle book from Dees20Stitches, Raven's Needle Book. This was a wake up. Got Dees20Stitches email. It was 7 in the morning in my bed. Woke up, clicked the link, bought it right away. It's dangerous. So you've probably seen this. This is the other cover with the little raven, and it comes with everything. I got the heart scissors. I was able to get the heart ones. And I have a couple plans for needle books. And actually why I bought this, I love the design. It's very cute. I love birds. If anyone listens to the podcast known as Magic Tavern, please give me vindication for that Usador shout out. I love birds. But also, like, I don't know how to make a needle book. So this has like directions and all this stuff. So I figure, like, and I'm literally stitching in my whip pile. I've started some needle books. I don't know how to put them together. So I thought if I buy it, then Lindy Stitches will teach me, and then I'll be able to apply it elsewhere. So that's my plan. I don't know when I'll start this. It's got birds on it. So maybe I got plans for Betsy's birthday. I know what I'm gonna stitch there. Okay, so I got that. What else? What else? Ah, okay. This is a preview for Kari and my design from Fire Poppies, my linen distributor, because they are, believe it or not, the fastest to ship to me is South Carolina South Carolina Fire Poppies. Everywhere else takes 7 weeks. So this is Fiber on a Whim, cream and sugar. And this is what the design will be on, what Kari and my holiday design will be on, which will be released in the middle of November. I think you'll love it. So if you are a Dee and Kari fan, you might want to load up on this. You just might, just in case. And this stuff is nice. Fiber on a Whim is nice. It's kind of a grungy, I would call it a little bit of a green, gray. Smells fine. You'll like it. Yeah, you'll like it. So definitely try. I actually I had ordered it actually from Fat Quarter Shop, and I really needed the fabric so I could like do a floss toss and make sure the DMCs that I chose for our pattern went really nicely with the fabric. And Fat Quarter Shop, you know, if you don't need it there right away, especially if you're in Canada, because Canada, we have that border. It took like a long time to actually even send it out. So I actually canceled my order with Fat Quarter Shop. I'll buy from them again when I don't need a rush job, right? But Fire Poppies are just so quick. And the shipping's not so bad either to Canada, which is mind-boggling. The other last piece of haul I got, speaking of forever, this is Moss and the Moon by Tawny Modernist. This was a release for the online needlework expo. I bought this from the biggest needlework shop in Canada is Traditional Stitches out of Calgary in Alberta. But the thing about Traditional Stitches is they're old school, which is fine. And it just takes a while. Like, it took a while to get this in. It took a while to process. It took a while to get to me. Now, for something like this, I do not care because I'm not itching to stitch it now, right? It took, like, I pre-ordered it during Expo and then I got it this week. So that was a while. But it's fine. Like, Traditional Stitches is doing the best they can. Because it's a lot, right? I will always order from them because I want to keep them alive. I want to keep them going. Will I order fabric from them if I need it for a piece and I need it like in a month? No. It takes a while. But you just know which stores can get it out to you quickly because they have the supply. Like, I think Fire Poppies has everything there, so they can just ship it out. Whereas a lot of stores have to order the fabric, wait for the fabric to get there, get the fabric, send out the invoice, then send it out, right? So yeah, I mean, when you're ordering, throw your money around to different shops, and know that like nowhere can be Amazon, right? Like some like there's shipping costs money and time, and so if you don't get your order, like, you know, just know that like it's getting to you. Don't worry about it, right? If there are places that get them out quick, awesome, cool. But yeah, make sure you spread the money around. Okay. So, looking at a book, I think the only thing I have to do is Snail Mail Club. So, Snail Mail Club, this is how it works. If you enjoy me and you would like a piece of snail mail, I throw one out every after every recording. What is in it? It's random. It's whatever I feel like. Last time I sent all of our Halloween patterns to someone. Who was it? Oh, it was Pam and Steph. I actually didn't know they were such a big deal. I've never watched their channel. So I sent them, and sometimes it's just like candy. Sometimes it's going to be a nice letter. Sometimes it's my pattern. Sometimes, who knows? Who knows what it's going to be? So, what you do is A, number one, subscribe. B, I have a form below. It's a Google form, and you fill it out with all your information. And that is, if I pick you, that means I have your information already. I don't have to hunt you down, right? I don't have to hunt you down. And then you, in order to get entered, you just have to make a comment in this in the video. So the person who wins today made a comment and is a subscriber and signed up for my Google form last episode. And if you would like to win next time, you would put a comment down below. Any comment, I mean, be nice about it, but any comment you want, and then you'll be entered. As long as you fill out the form, as long as you're a subscriber, then you're entered. What am I gonna give away this time? What do I got? Let me see my bag. Oh, I've got some Kari art. Hi. Bye. Oh, one sec. Come here. I got smooches. Anyway, what do I have? I have, oh. I have a piece of art from Kari. It's a spooky art. Spoopy. I don't want to show you all of it, but you know who this is. I'm going to send that out. That's what I'll do. It's Halloween. I'll send that out. Okay, so I'm going to use my YouTube random comment picker. And I'm going to put it in. And, oh, you got that? Lisa D. The William Morris book. I'd be happy to lend it to you if you'd be happy to post it back to me. I'm in the UK. I also want to stitch the burbs and the hairs, but I have not planned to stitch them just yet. Thank you, Lisa, for offering. The William Morris saga will be continued probably next month. It's a saga. I'll tell you all about it. But Lisa, that is very nice of you. Oh, that was very nice of you to offer. So for that offer and that comment, and because you subscribe, you're going to get a piece of art from Kari and maybe some other stuff. Who knows? Whatever I find and I can put in an envelope. And I'll send it to you in the UK. How nice. Beautiful. That's it. Again, one of the things I should mention is I am a trans educator by trade. not only do I teach in the school system, I also teach one-on-one with allies and also trans people. That's my job, is to educate. So if you learned something and or I made you think, or you read the resources that I provided for you about the Netflix issues, I have a buy me a coffee section down below. And that's just a way, like, honestly, um, it's so nice to be appreciated, and I love kind words, but getting a coffee paid for me, or using the money, I use the money in different ways to support me, and I mean, being trans is expensive. It's just nice. It's nice to get something, and I appreciate every time it happens, and I thank everyone who just throws me $3 American. $3 American goes a Canadian a long way, y'all. I could buy a car with you $3 American. You kidding me? So thank you. I appreciate it. So if you learned something today, if I made you think, I would appreciate it. Buy me a coffee, Ko-fi.com. The link's down below. I think that's it. I want to say to you, thank you for being you. I appreciate it. And that's it. I'm your Stitch Dad, and I love you, and I'm so proud of the work you're doing. Okay, I'll see you in November. Bye.